How's it going? How's it going? Give me one moment. What do you have to say, Stola? I like to set out as soon as you're ready. Yup. Monty Shane? Hopefully he says it. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume? You presume correctly. Hey, welcome in. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant access to the restricted section. Sweet. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it's my pleasure. Believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Man, I need more MSQ. Shall we? Shall I accompany you? Alright, let's get going. What you got to say, Stola? Come along, Luster. Oh man, I cannot pronounce this stuff. Noumenon and its forbidden wisdom awaits. Hopefully I said that right. Where am I going? Oh, it's over here. Where am I going? Oh no, that's up here. I'm blind. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yawns away from where you found me napping. If I had known of Alzadal's the Third's exploit sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Yeah, you stole it. You just gotta slow down. Index page. Oh, that's cool. Archon stuck like the SpongeBob thing. Archon Ishtola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. That the use of naked flames. Huh?
If House Damir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. Ooh. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem unconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Though you're tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume we're seeking. Yeah, I am tempted. In the year 1564 of the 6th Astral Era, the Amalja summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we considered that primal summoning as an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers of which it is attributed by its worshippers. What, then, might emerge from the aether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? Though your mind spins with the possibilities discussed therein, there does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. Yeah, even though there's nobody watching, I'm sure getting a good amount of practice is speaking. I suck at talking. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nahashan, the ninth patriarch of House Daemir. We present the research notes to the faculty of Charlian Studium as both a token of our friendship and expression of our boundless admiration. Appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek, strolling needs final confirmation. Sweet. Where you at? Whoop. Have something you'd like to show me? My apologies. I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well done, Lester. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Daemir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Voidsent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves? Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Fortunately, we know a Hainish alchemist who can be delighted to involve herself in a House Demir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidhana can. I say we return to Thavnair and look for her at the great work. All these sallow, sleep-deprived faces, but their eyes still burn with fiery zeal. Some things never change. Stola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Demir. I never even knew such a work existed. You should. It was sequestered in Amanon's restricted archives after all. It was, but that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research. And you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. To think that the Demir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder. Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Nice. Work on the Demir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Sharlayan trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big mouth simulacrum once we've built it? So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I would need to see to it for myself. I think manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. Accompany us, I can't speak. I plan to lead back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Sharlayan's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there is now the Eveline is known to enliven the flow of water. That sounds perfect. If you be so kind as to fill a flask of the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here anon. Sweet. Give me the wad. Ah, shit. I really should just get flying real quick. Ah. Probably all in Pakistan. Potentially there. You have a moment, adventurer. One of my colleagues has gone missing. She said she was going to Kajaya's footsteps to get a bit of exercise, but she hasn't come back. I'd go search for her, but it's almost time for a shift change, and I can't very well leave the kiln to operate itself. Could you find her and fetch her for me? Sure can do. You're too kind. She should be in Kajaya's footsteps. Keep an eye out for the hero with black hair. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. She was out the last time you were by, and she was devastated that she missed out on the chance to meet the adventurer aiding the students of Baldessian. Okay. Let's also grab this a while. Yetli Mad. Why are there Matanga everywhere? Has this town fallen? Ah, your face. It's known to me. You were the warrior who fought for the mole in the Nadam. I am Ogul of the Katayin. It was your bravery and skill which inspired me to embark upon my own hero's journey. And now I have foolishly blundered into a den of Matanga. Why do these others walk without fear? Do they not care if they are slaughtered? Whoa. Do not doubt your word. My grandmother would always warn me. If you encounter a Matanga, you turn tail and flee as fast and far as you can. Her tales were awful and bloody, and so now the very sight of them, the terror rises unbidden. No, I cannot stay here. I must earn enough coin to buy passage from this nightmare island as soon as possible. I beg of you, stay at my side for a time, just until I meet with this Kankana person the sailors told me about. She is said to have the work that... Wow, I can't speak, dude. My brain. She is said to have work that pays a fair wage, so I will see what she has for me. By the Dusk Mother, no one told me Kakana was a Mantanga. Could I ask you to speak with her in my stead? Welcome to Yedli Mod, traveler. I am Kankana, and it is my job to assign the right work to the right workers. Might I have your name? Hey, welcome in. How's your day going? Luster and Ogul, was it? Let me jot those down. Oh, grandmother, why? Why did it have to be a Mantanga? Is your companion quite alright? Ah, an understandable reaction. The Gaja Soda tribe have done much to stain the reputation of our people. You are looking for work, though, yes? Many have been forced to take what they can get since the troubles began, so I'm afraid all the simple jobs are gone. As for what is left, I only have tasks fit for seasoned fighters. Does that sound something like you can do? Sure. Hey, kitty cat, get out of here. But fighting? I can fight, lest you doubt my skill is likened to that of the Dragonbane, the legendary... Oh, I didn't get to read that. I'm not familiar with the name, but you sound formidable indeed. Why don't we start you on escort duty then? A group of artisans set off to harvest materials and ask that I send any prospective projectors their way should I happen to enlist any. What? They already set off. It's our duty not to escort them. There's to be a ritual dance performed in Kanjaya's footsteps. They'll need incense and costumes for the dancers and such. The entire thing was decided rather suddenly, so there was no time to waste. And these artisans you speak of, do they include the Matanga in their number? It was an Akasadera who submitted the request. I hope that won't be a problem. Oh, not at all. I look forward to fainting at the feet of my most feared enemy. Luster, I cannot do this alone. Pray lend me strength of the victor of Nadam, and half the reward of the task will be yours. The artisans didn't plan to venture far. Leave Yedlimod to the west, and you should soon come across your employer. That is where we shall meet. You will find me there, yes? Yeah. Dusk Mother, give me courage. Ah, you must be our belated escort, yes? Glad to have such a courageous... is this your companion not well? She seems a touch shaky. Of course, I should have thought of it before. I shall harvest the necessary ingredients while the artisan stays here. That way I have no need to fear him, being harmed. Perfect. I must say, this is less than ideal. My people are already scattered across the wilds, and I wanted someone to roam around and ensure they were safe from attack. If your friend perhaps frightened by Akasadera, I have met such travelers before. Well, no matter. If you can patrol the area as I ask, I must attend to my own harvesting. Tusk, trunks, bone-crushing feet. You must think me foolish. I was so absorbed in my task that I failed to notice the ground shaking at their approach. Still, my injuries are light and my satchel is full. Thanks to you, I think I can make it back to town in time to meet the others. What happened? You slay the beast? That was a near thing. I took the first one by surprise, but the second, knowing a Matanga stood at my back, my mind froze and my body refused to obey. Grandmother taught that we should let fear wash over us like water, but to my shame, I could not have failed her more thoroughly. Not to sound ungrateful, Lester, but why did you follow me? We were to patrol? Forgive me. I should have waited for orders, instead of running off alone and putting lives in peril. Come, we should return to our employer. I want to be sure that the wounded man reached safety. The deep breaths, let it wash over you. My colleague told me of his rescue. Although we had hoped for an escort from the start, imagine if you hadn't come at all. I've sent him and the others back to our workshop, so consider your duty with us complete. You have my thanks. As for your payment, you can collect from Kankana. Right, I suppose we report to Kankana then. Ah, there you are. Your employer expressed satisfaction with your work, so congratulations on a job well done. As a response to the recent chaos, the upcoming ritual was hastily planned, to say the least. As a consequence, the artisans have been hard-pressed to make everything ready. But when times are hard, the people of Thavner rely on such traditions to renew their faith and bolster their hearts with the teachings of the divine. The death of an artisan would have thrown the whole thing into disarray, and thus your rescue was timely indeed. Please accept your payment, half each, as agreed upon. Are you interested in further work? I may have something for you if so. Nope. Alright guys, if you're tuning in, just going to be back in roughly 5-ish minutes. BRB. Hello, welcome back, welcome back. How's it going? Get this thing back underway. Lentil curry. Ah, what luck. You look capable of braving the jungles unscathed. Would you help me search for a group of refugees I became separated from? As the chaos unfolded around us, I fled in the direction of a Gama temple along with a few others. There, one of those terrible beasts fell upon us, and I lost track of my group in the chaos. While I was able to make my way here, none of the others have, and I worry for their safety. I would like nothing more than to search for myself, but all hands are required to defend this place. Gama Temple is to the west. Please, journey there and guide anyone you can find back here. I only hope that some manage to survive the madness. I know you are beset by monsters, beasts, and worse, but if you have an ounce of strength to give, I would ask your aid. I am in need of a brave soul to help patrol the area in search of any lost refugees. I would ask my brothers and sisters of Radiant Host, but our numbers have greatly diminished. It's all we can do, the darkness swallowing the settlement whole. Very good. It shall be heartening to have another warrior by my side. Let us commence at once. All of them? Okay. We should begin our patrol by heading south, a route that which many refugees of Yedlimon pass. We could cover more ground if we split into two groups. If you should find anyone in need, go to their aid, and if you discover any discarded effects, collect them for safekeeping. And if you should encounter one of those terrible beasts, slay it where it stands. Once we've made a thorough search of the area, let us rendezvous back here. Godspeed. Ow. The work ahead of us is vast, and any lives we can save are precious indeed. While I came across in my patrol were discarded belongings and scattered luggage. Did you find anything else of note? I recognize this figure. Doubtless you are curious as to what it depicts. There's a legend that tells of Manusia, goddess who sought the strength of the Migra, wresting her own head from her body and replacing it with the bestial pate of the Migra. In pursuit of wisdom, did a Migra do the same, replacing his own head with that of a Manusia. Thus were born divine beings gifted with both strength and wisdom, heralding an age of untold peace. One of the refugees must have dropped this in their flight. This figure is a reminder that the most insurmountable hardships can be overcome by looking beyond the bounds of tribe for help. A figure so fine was lightly beloved by its owner. I shall do what I can to see it return to them. Thank you for your help today, traveler. I watched your arrival. I recognized that man from the group I was with, and I am overjoyed to see him safe. Thank you for escorting him here. Truly you are worthy of the reputation you've earned. I dare say even a Gamo would be awed by your bravery. He was a storied merchant of the Akasadara. When the Hears landed ashore this island and war broke out, he spared no effort to save the lives of all who were injured in the conflict. He saw no tribes, only those in need. He is not so different from you, who throws himself into the maw of danger to save someone they've never met. If Agama's spirit lives on today, it is through your selfless deeds. Take this as a reward, although I have no doubt you would deny it if I let you. Once my watch has ended, I shall patrol the woods in search of any more hiding amongst the trees. You have the flask for me? Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Lester. Look who I came across. Estinian seemed in need of diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsuya's boat again? Not this time. Once you stole it, informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host, shall we? get that. Let me get that ether current right quick. What do you mean? I need to get back to work? Oh, have I really been out that long? I should really go. But I was hoping to get a better look at the stage before I left. I'm sure you're busy, but you could assist me for a moment. Thank you. I'll inspect the walls so you can make sure the stage is in order. I will be right back, guys. Gotta take something out the oven. BRB. What up, what up, what up? Let's get this stuff finished. Sorry for the wait. I was just grabbing some pizza. I'm glad I didn't log out. Hopefully I wouldn't come for too long. Guild name is Sag. Alright. Should just show in the road.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the Bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There is something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale? Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, froth and foam!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Water, froth and foam! Time to play!
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve us well.
The
This one
Matoya
will
music?
bear a warding
Oh my
scale.
god.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well. Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
Water, water, breath, and fire! Into shadow realms we go!
Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the Crystal Tower and the final lash of Adagia's tail as she plunged into the void. Sister, save me. I will never see Y'shtola the same way again. Froth and foam, indeed. I struggled to picture Y'shtola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. We need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Oh.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side. Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time! I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzidal III, I bar this door unto the void!
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
My apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. What do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Ah. I haven't seen Sid in a minute. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Rogger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Nice, easy telly. Perhaps this young man can locate Sid for us. Luster, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid? Certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if I can say anything that would surprise me after Meteon in that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. And you said there were signs of degradation? Manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero on his wounds, in which case our best bet may to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. We're safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. Suit of armor, as you said. Nero's compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only we're such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. If any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we could leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Dinhada is getting on with the mock Animus.
Estola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
This story's gonna make me cry again. What a beautifully written story, dude.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th had utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient if we had some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside the Meghaduda. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Stones have raised just as many questions as recruiting too many scions. At least here in Razadhan, we might not expect to appear road weary from our local explorations. I was put up in a guest room in the palace while I awaited my audience with Vitra. I expect we'll be given the use of something similar. And so we shall require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, you have settled in Meghaduda in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Ajdaya. Providing the comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidhana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Luster, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We're headed to another world. Find what joy you can in this experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. No way is it actually Xenos.
And thus I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Xenos is back. I really hope they continue his storyline and he ends up just being like the big bad. The unfortunate thing is I just don't think they're going to do that. I want them to, but I don't think they're going to. Oh man. Xenos back, huh? Xenos do be back potentially. Alright, what am I doing with my life? Damn. Do 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 do. Interesting, interesting. Well, I guess I can... I mean, I've only been live for 2 hours. I can do a little bit of PvP. Do some PvP. I've been loving Black Mage and PvP. I'm gonna keep playing Black Mage PvP and I don't care. That was fast. Can't lose. That all just does too much damage. Well, that was a steamroll, if I do say so myself. Easy games. Platinum, baby. No, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just go against a team that focuses you. I think my warrior just ulted. Pretty sure it's over. Yeah, it's over. Oh, it's fucking over. Whew, that was a closer one. That monk was being an asshole. But I was the bigger asshole. The goons are absolutely broken. I'm convinced. my team do no damage. That early death really screwed me. Forgot about that. Dodging the shield. It's so annoying. No. Alright, guys. If you're tuning in after the stream was live, thanks for watching. I'm gonna be heading out of here. Got a lot of wins in a row. Can't be mad about that. Honestly, I don't think my team, even though we all did like pretty poorly, I don't even think my team was that bad. I think it was more so that our team comp. This is why I really wish they would do something about the team comp situation PvP. Like when you get a team comp like this where you just have 0 frontline and then they got like, you know, a ton of duelists, it's really hard because they just run around assassinating your team. It's really annoying. Anyway, it's been fun. Thank you guys, and peace out.